The wall is bare concrete. A cockroach moves along a crack from ceiling to floor, slow like it has nowhere to be. You're sitting on a mattress that smells like someone else's sweat. A bag of cash on the floor. A phone on the table. Two numbers written on the inside of your wrist in ink that's already smearing. 24 hours ago you ran a plaza. You had men, roots, a ranch with horses. Now you're in your underwear in a safe house on the edge of a city you can't name, and your mother's voice is still in your ear from the last call. They came to the door. Two numbers. One keeps you alive, one keeps your family alive. But how did it come to this? Let's go back. You are 9 years old and the soil smells like iron after rain. You live outside Culiacán, Sinaloa, on a piece of land your father works with his hands. Beans, maize, enough to eat, never enough to save. Your father is not a rich man, but he is the kind who takes off his hat in church and shakes hands looking you in the eye. A local boss wants this land, a patron with political friends and pistoleros on payroll. Your father's plot sits on a corridor useful for moving product north. He offers to buy. Your father refuses. He refuses twice. The third time they don't offer. Two men come at dawn. The screen door slams. Your mother pushes you and your baby sister under the bed. The springs press against your back. You can see boots through the gap. Your father's voice, calm, then raised. Then a sound that is not a sound. It is the end of a sound, a single gunshot. Then boots walking away on dry dirt. No investigation. The police say bandits. A week later, the patron's man comes with condolences and a price. Your mother sells. There's nothing else to do. A cinder-block neighborhood on the edge of Culiacán. Your mother cleans houses. Your sister coughs at night and you can't afford the medicine. You drop out at 12 for a tire shop that pays almost nothing. You patch rubber in the heat until your fingers crack, and every night you understand one thing more clearly. Your father was a good man, and they put him in the ground for it. You are 14 when a man in a clean shirt and gold chain leans against the tire shop wall and watches you work. He watches for a long time. Then he asks if you want to earn real money. He doesn't say what for. He doesn't need to. You say yes, not because you're brave, because your sister is sick and your mother is breaking and the world has shown you exactly what it does to good men. 500 pesos a week to sit on a corner and watch for police. You're a halcon, a hawk, a pair of eyes, the lowest rung. The kid you replaced was lazy, missed a patrol car, a stash house got raided. The plaza boss doesn't forgive product. For 2 weeks you walk the streets on foot. You map every police shift change, every patrol route, every gap where a truck could move unnoticed. You write it on the back of a cigarette box every time, every corner, every swap, and hand it to the plaza boss. He looks at the box, he looks at you. You're 14 and you just outworked his paid men. You replace the halcon that night. Your mother notices the new shoes. She doesn't ask. The silence between you is the first thing you learn to carry. A driver gets drunk and puts a truck with 30 kilos into a ditch outside Mazatlan. A cop on the highway already circling. Nobody wants to touch it. You don't volunteer to drive. You volunteer to fix it. 3 in the morning, you borrow a tow truck, drive out to the ditch. The cop is leaning on his cruiser, flashlight swinging. You tell him you're the driver's cousin recovering a farm vehicle. You hand him 10,000 pesos, your entire savings folded in a handshake. He pockets it. He drives away. You deliver every kilo. The plaza boss gives back triple. His boss hears your name. You're 17 and men 2 levels above you know who you are. That night you eat steak for the first time and it tastes like the future. But a rival Cruz Halcon was on that highway. He saw your face. He knows it too. A distributor is skimming, shorting bags by 10%, selling the shave on the side. Everyone knows, no one acts. The man is connected to a DFS officer, the government's secret police. Touching the distributor means touching the state. You don't touch him. You find the DFS officer's mistress. You arrange for a photograph to reach the distributor in a plain envelope with one sentence. Fix the count or the wife gets a copy. No violence, no fingerprints. The count is corrected in 48 hours. The plaza boss starts bringing you to meetings where the chairs are leather and the ashtrays are crystal. But the distributor knows it was you. You've made your first real enemy with government friends. The Sonora corridor is burned. Too many seizures. The Colombians are threatening to leave. Felix Gallardo's people are losing millions a month, and the tension tastes like metal in every room you enter. You remember the tire shop, agricultural trucks rolling through checkpoints without a second look. You propose hiding product in irrigation crates on legitimate farm shipments. You drive the test run yourself. Culiacán to Nogales, 14 hours, 2 checkpoints. Soldiers open the truck, see PVC piping and copper fittings, close it. You call from a payphone at the border. The line is silent for 3 seconds. Then a voice says, "Come to Guadalajara." You pack a single bag. At the bus station, your mother holds your face in both hands and searches your eyes for something she's already lost. Your sister grabs your hand and won't let go until you pull away. You are 21 years old. The boy from the tire shop is gone. Your plaza boss is arrested. A political sacrifice. 2 lieutenants above you fight for the seat. Shipments stall. The Colombians call every day. Money bleeds. You don't fight for the seat. You don't pick a side. You keep the routes running, bribes paid, Colombians calm. For 3 months, while both lieutenants burn each other to the ground, you are the only person producing uninterrupted numbers. You walk into a meeting with El Padrino's people carrying 3 months of clean books. No speeches, just numbers on paper. Felix Gallardo confirms you. You are 26 years old. You run a plaza. Not because you were the most violent, because you were the most useful. But you understand what this table means. You know names, routes, accounts at every level of government. This knowledge is not a privilege, it is a leash. There is no quitting. The only way out is up, or into the ground your father is buried in. Stop. Breathe. Look at what you've built. A ranch outside Guadalajara. White walls. Horses in the field. A jacaranda tree dropping purple flowers on the driveway like confetti for a parade no one threw. You wear Italian suits, not flashy tailored, and a gold watch that catches the light when you sign your name. When you walk into a restaurant, the owner crosses the room to seat you himself. Politicians shake your hand at private parties. DFS men pour you tequila from bottles without labels. Your sister is in university. She wants to be a lawyer. Your mother has a house with a garden. She grows beans in the back, the same strain your father planted in that Sinaloan dirt. You send money every month in an envelope with no return address, and sometimes you imagine her opening it at the kitchen table and you feel something that might be pride or might be grief. You can never tell the difference. The country is flush. Cocaine moves north like a river finding the sea. You sit on your porch at dusk and the sky over Jalisco turns copper and gold, and the air smells like mesquite smoke, and for one still moment you believe this is what your father should have had. And you built it with the only tools the world left you. Hold this moment, it's the last good one you'll have. February 1985. DEA agent Enrique Camarena is grabbed off a street in Guadalajara in broad daylight, taken to a house, tortured for 30 hours, killed. His body dumped in a field. The Americans lose their minds. Operation Leyenda. The border slams shut. Seizures triple. The DFS, the agency that protected every major trafficker in Mexico, is dissolved overnight. Men who shook your hand won't return calls. Politicians who drank your tequila pretend they've never heard your name. The architecture of protection collapses like a house built on someone else's land. You shut everything down. 2 months, no shipments. You bury cash in the walls of a ranch outside Tepic. You move your mother and sister to a quieter neighborhood with a different name on the lease. It buys time. But 3 of your men are arrested. One of them, a driver, a kid, knows your roots. All of them. You lie awake imagining his face in a concrete room with Americans asking questions. The clock is ticking. You can hear it in the silence where the phone used to ring. Felix Gallardo divides the empire among his lieutenants. Smaller pieces, harder to hit. Your territory is handed to a man named Raul. Raul did not map police shifts or solve problems with photographs. Raul earned his place with a machete and a reputation for enjoying his work. He is bloated on cocaine and power, and when he sits behind what used to be your desk, he looks at you the way a man looks at something he stepped in. You swallow it, you run his shipments. Raul tests loyalty the way dogs test fences, constantly looking for the weak spot. He makes you stand while he sits. Calls you el hijo del campesino, the farmer's son, in front of men who used to take your orders. He cuts your percentage. Every day, the thing you built dissolves under someone else's boots, and the alternative is a hole in the desert. The suits still fit, the watch still ticks. But when you look in the mirror, the man looking back is someone you wouldn't have hired 3 years ago. Raul calls at 11 at night, a mechanic on the south side of the city. He saw a pickup that wasn't supposed to be there. Wrong place, wrong time, a witness. Raul doesn't say handle it. He says clean it. The mechanic, his wife, both. You drive to the shop. The lights are off. The man is watching television. Blue flicker through the window. His wife is washing dishes. You can hear the water running. You do what you were told. You drive home at 4 in the morning. You pull into the driveway and sit in the car. The steering wheel is cold. You look at your hands. They are still. That's the part that terrifies you. Not what you did, but that your hands don't shake. You were 9 years old once under a bed listening to a gunshot that took your father. Now you are the man with the gun. And the distance between those 2 people, the boy under the bed and the man in the driveway, that distance closed tonight. You just didn't feel it happen. Your oldest lieutenant, the one from Culiacán, the one who knew your father's name. looks at you across the room the next morning, and something in his face has changed. Not fear, something worse. Recognition. He sees what you've become. Your lieutenant, the last real friend you have, the only man who knew the boy from the tire shop, has been talking to the Tijuana Plaza, feeding them routes, schedules, safe house locations. He wants out from under Raul. Raul finds out before you do. He gives you a choice. Handle it yourself, tonight, or Raul's people handle you both. You drive to your lieutenant's house. A small place with a chain-link fence and a dog that knows you. The dog doesn't bark. He opens the door. He sees your face and he knows. You sit at his kitchen table. A child's drawing on the refrigerator. A daughter you forgot about. He doesn't run. He pours you a glass of water and sits across from you, and for a moment you are two boys from Culiacán again, with dirt under your fingernails and nowhere to go but up. You shoot him at the table. The last person who remembered your father's handshake is dead by your hand. You are now completely, irreversibly alone. There is no one left who knew you before you became this. The DEA has your name. One of the arrested men talked, a sealed indictment in Los Angeles. Your photograph is in a folder in California. Mexican federal police, no longer shielded by the DFS under enormous pressure from Washington, raid your house at dawn. The door comes off the hinges, flashlights sweep the bedroom. You go through the back window in your underwear, barefoot on gravel, over a wall, into a car parked on the next street for exactly this reason. 40 minutes to a safe house on the edge of the city. A bare room, a mattress, a bag of cash, a phone. Raul has written you off. You're a liability. A name on an American indictment is a contagion. No one will touch you. No one answers your calls. Your mother calls. She is crying. Men came to her door, 2 of them. They asked where you are. They were polite. They didn't touch her. They said they'd come back. That was the first visit. You sit in the safe house and listen to the cockroach on the wall and understand finally the geometry of your life. Everything you built, every clever move, every route, every test you passed, all of it was building this room, this mattress, this phone, this choice. 2 numbers on the inside of your wrist. The ink is smearing in your sweat. The first number is a DEA agent. He wants your testimony. Names, routes, accounts, the whole architecture. In exchange, witness protection, a new identity, a town in Nebraska or Oklahoma that you've never heard of and will never leave. They'll extract you in 72 hours, but the program takes you. Only you. Your mother and sister, they say they'll work on it. Bureaucratic approvals, Mexican cooperation, it could take months. You know what months mean. The cartel doesn't need months. They need 1 phone call. The second number is a lawyer who can arrange your surrender to Mexican authorities. Almoloya prison, maximum security. The organization sees you kept your mouth shut. Your mother and sister are left alone. That's the code. Silence buys their safety, but the Tijuana Plaza has men inside those walls. Men with long memories and sharpened rebar hidden in mattresses. The phone is in your hand. The cockroach is still moving along the crack in the wall. Path 1. You call the lawyer, you surrender. Almoloya, you keep your mouth shut. Your mother and sister live, untouched, protected by the only currency this world respects, your silence. You last 8 months inside, a corridor, a wet floor, a piece of steel between your ribs. They find you face down on concrete. Your mother buries a second man who chose loyalty over survival, but your sister finishes university. She becomes a lawyer. She names her son after you. You die. But the people you did this for, they live. And in the ranchos outside Culiacán, they still say your name. Path 2. You call the DEA agent. You testify. You disappear. A small apartment in a town where no one speaks Spanish and the sky is flat and gray forever. A new name, a new face. You wait for word on your family. Weeks pass, then months. Then one morning the phone rings and a voice you don't recognize tells you about your mother's house. What happened? What they found? You survived. You're alive in a room in Nebraska with a name that isn't yours. And the only people you did any of this for. The sister with the cough, the mother who sold the land, you traded them for a heartbeat. You will live a long time. You will live with this longer. The phone is warm in your hand. Which path do you choose? Drop it in the comments. Next time on The Life of A, you voted and the two choices are a Viking Raider on the shores of 9th century England, or a masterless samurai wandering Edo, Japan. The comments decide who you become next. Vote now.